know what it is? I think it's I watch too much Games of Thrones and Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
So when I go in there, I'm like,
Mate, they're great. They're great for what they are. But when you're trying something different, or you go to someone else who isn't doing the same as you, has a different thought. The thing is, you go to a different barber, they might have a totally different concept or Peaky Blinders this sort of you know what I mean? Right, welcome back to the Hunt Collective with Regal Gentlemen. I've got a bit of a challenge in today. So, we had a little chat earlier on, and we noticed that his hair is very. It's been cut very high and asymmetric is probably the term I'd use. You've been to loads of different barbers, asked, requested different things. What's the story behind the look then? What was it you were saying before, like sort of the Game of Thrones kind of look? That's sort of like that kind of almost like DIY looking kind of thing.
I always ask them to take it as high as possible, and even sometimes they don't agree with it. But I always like it as skin fade as high as possible, and then I just left it just to do something different. But now I want to do something different again. So
this is the point we're up to now.
Yes.
We're stuck on doing something different. So if Liam brings the camera over, I'll show you what I mean, guys. So what we've got is we've got quite a sort of high shave right up to here, but then it's cut across the crown. So it's cut the crown off essentially. But then this side is the bit that. This side's okay in the height. I could probably change it around or keep something coming slip back. Problem is this side, it's asymmetric. So it's been cut. So if you look at the section, it comes down, up and around. And so this side's higher up. So what they've done, they've gone over the round of the head. Now, it works for the look that which maybe you were trying to achieve. It could work. I'd always say keep the section straight, just for symmetry. But when you're trying to change your hairstyle around, this is the tricky thing, guys. This kind of disconnection and everything is so hard to change, especially if it goes high. So the reason why in the other videos I talk about trying to find the round of the head is for this exact reason. So when you blend it to the round of the head here, what you're looking for essentially is to leave length between your fingers that you can connect any length into on the top. Because if I can connect it here, I can connect any length pretty much on the top. When you take it around the round of the head, it wants to go outwards. That's why you don't go. That's why I wouldn't go too high on this, because if I start cutting this bit short here, there's going to be no connection. It's going to start sticking out and sticking out and sticking out. And if it's not symmetrical either side, it won't look right. It just won't look. It won't sit right, and you'll look at it and you'll think that's something wrong with that haircut. So what we've decided to do after a few ideas back and forth, what we thought we could do today is try and work with what we've got. And again, you know, this hair on the head, we can always do something with it. It might not be the ideal haircut we want to do, but it's probably going to be something that I think will work. And what I'd like to try and show everybody is how to grow out a haircut like this, because this is such a common haircut, such a common, it can be a common sort of error in some ways where you were saying you don't go to the same barber a lot. So when you go to different guys, every barber has a different idea. Now, good or bad, whatever you may think of it, it's somebody's idea. It probably looked amazing at the time. The fade was probably spot on. Problem is, when you're trying to go something out of something new, it's very hard to do when you use such a high connection. So what I'm going to try and show you guys today is how to try and make a style, maybe a bit of a different style, working with sort of the growing out phase, should we call it. So anything that's gone maybe a bit too high on one side, or something that maybe a bit asymmetric, or say the parting's been cut at maybe a slightly lower or higher angle. We're going to try and show you how to grow this out. So hopefully maybe before your wedding, come back. Let's see how it's grown out, and then try and create something bang on for the wedding. So that'll be, I think this could be a work in progress, should we say, on this one. So what I'm thinking to do today is I'm going to take it back a little bit. So a bit of an older hairstyle that was around maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. Is that really sort of the high disconnected fade and come and slick back. A bit like Michael Pitt, the actor from Boardwalk Empire. I can't remember his name in the film, in the show, but where it's kind of come and slick back and still very kind of high fade. I know it's probably this length on the sides, but I think maybe let's just add a bit of a twist to this one. Let's maybe make it look really fresh and sharp, and do maybe a fairly high skin fade. But what I'm going to do at the back is I'm going to cut this here so it sits at my fade point. So we're going to sit almost probably comes up by that much. So as he slicks this back, it's going to disguise this bit growing out here, because it's got dark hair, and the best thing is with the fade, it's going to be really light on this skin as well. So the skin's going to be quite light underneath, the hair's going to be dark on the top, so it will almost disguise this undercut here. So I'm going to bring this through, and I'm going to try and connect it either side best I can to make it sit right through the back. But this is going to sit where my fade blends, so get it fade fairly high, not go into his fringe, but just come a bit high at the temple through this side here. So almost on this angle like that. So working it round, just to add a bit of something new, a bit of a twist in the circle. But also the main thing is to disguise the growing out phase. So stay tuned for this one, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be quite good.
So it could be a part 2?
I think this is part 1, yeah.
Oh,
I think this could be a work in progress, my friend, yeah, definitely. Right, so I'm going to give it a wash, and then have a proper look while it's wet, see where it's actually sitting, and start trying to change this up a little bit, and let's just start growing this out and giving it a bit more of a new look and a fresher look. So let me just show you now exactly what this is like. You see where the partings are, and then I'll show you the back, and the back is as well. So there's quite a lot to do to grow this out, just because it's so high. If we want a different look anyway. So what I'm going to be looking to do today is working this blend really low. I want to maintain everything from the round of the head. So I'm looking to work off the blend at this point. So I'm starting to create length. So yeah, you know what, in all honesty, it's going to stick out for a little bit. I've got to be totally honest, it's going to stick out because your hair's very spiky, it's super thick as well. Great hair, man, great hair. But reality of this is, it's going to stick out. It's going to be a nightmare for a few weeks, all because of the height of the section. So by this going out, if you look at the way this hair, I've only dried it off, I haven't used the brush or nothing. Look at the way the hair is already sticking out on this bit here, because this wants to sit more forward, it wants to sit up and then long. Same this side, if you look at this bit here, if you look where it's sticking out, coming out there, that's because that hair isn't, this is not a sort of natural line, this is a shaved in line. So the way the hair wants to grow is not the way this, another way it wants to go right now, it wants to go out and then sit flat. That's the reason why I tend to keep it like underneath the round of the head, because it tends to want to sit flatter around the head. So we're going to work on trying to create a little bit of a new look for this, a bit of a fresher look, and just give the chance for this to grow out. But still grow with some style as well, because there's no, there's no point in growing this out with no end results. Now we've got a few ideas, maybe part 2, we'll have a chat about that next time. Yeah. But for today, I just want to try and make it look as fresh as possible. Yeah. And just make it look cool, give it a bit of longevity in it as well. So I'm going to start with my number 2 and then just fade down, put your baseline in and then fade out, but still keeping to the request. So this is, you always say you want to fade as high as possible. So this is where you have to work with the client to be like, it's not going to work, it might not look right, or let me get what you want, the way I think will work, but still with some sort of happiness from both sides. Yeah. So for me, the fade can be a very shallow fade, it can still be high, it just doesn't have to round, so you can come off. So that's what I'm going to do today, to get that fade, but also to still make it work to how I want it to work as well, which I know will work in the best interests for this particular look and how we're going to grow it out as well.
I remember like the wedding we went to last September.
As I said, I like it short around here, but if you want to keep it slightly longer in interest of maybe like the part 2, I'm not fussed.
No, better shorter. Shorter, better. Just not here though.
Alright,
so this will be the same then.
Yes.
Just here won't be. So as soon as you look at your hair now, look how rounded it is. Here.
It looks weird now.
Exactly, it does, doesn't it? So watch when I've cut this, watch how square it is.
Yeah.
You'll see the difference, and this is a really good one for you and also the viewers, is to see at what point when you take the blend, at what point the blend is, to how it changes the face shape and how it changes the whole overall look. This is a really good opportunity to see that. So looking for my fade to sort of start about here. So I'm going to start with 2 here for my baseline to blend into this height, just up and off to create that squareness in the head, into the shape, and then I'll start with a blend a bit lower down as well. So a good technique for anyone with either this haircut and they're trying to grow it out, or this type of hair, which is very similar to mine in some ways, being very spiky, is a trick that I learned off an old barber years ago. and more than going up. Now, if you blend up, you start to remove too much length, you start to sacrifice the shape. What you can do is you can still get a nice blend and create shape by going down. So if you're trying this for the first time, put either a number 1 guard on or put it to half, just in case you make a mistake. But when you've done it for a long time, put it straight down to your 0. And what you do is you look in the mirror and you use the point of reference. So I'm looking now and it's almost doing, the spikiness is kind of coming out. So I want to try and square this off a little bit more. But I don't want to remove any length through here to round this hair off even more, his head off even more. What you do is you wear it down. So you just use your arms to start with. I tend to use my wrist, but as you're starting off, just use your arms, just literally top of the hair, straight down. And what that starts to do is cap off any of the spiky hairs. It starts to create a nice bit of squareness in there as well. This is really good for anyone with Asian hair, anything like that, without sacrificing that blend, or sacrificing taking it too round or too high. This just gives a nice sort of capping off really of any hairs that stand out. What you start to create is you start to take that kind of sharper angle off, you start to create it more square. So as it like this, by working downwards, it becomes nice and straight. Again, this doesn't work on every hair type, so assess the hair type first. But anyone with this kind of hairstyle or anyone growing out something, doing that, you start to take that off and create that squareness in there. Right, so can you see the shape changing?
Yes.
You see that squareness in there now?
Yes, nice.
So it's not as rounded. So you'll see it a lot more when we take this nice and short as well. We'll come down at an angle just to create a little bit of shape in there as well. So remember, what I've got to think about is I want to still give that high effect to the client, but also find room to connect the top in, so that's why I'm dropping it so low. Usually if we weren't changing the style, we're just going for something similar, I'd probably maybe just take it all the way around, because he's not looking for any connection. But because we're trying to grow it out into a connection, I'm just trying to sort of save any room for error, save any room for sort of growing out as much length as possible, and just giving a bit of a different look to it really.
Especially now I'm looking to try and change my style completely. I realise that it's quite, it's
quite severe, isn't it?
Yeah. Otherwise, like you say, like that's the reason why we might have to do 2 parts rather than 1.
Yeah.
Is because I've been going so
high and
high,
yeah. Just doing a little bit of refinement just around here, just to get rid of them little couple of hairs here. I'm not going to cut into his hairline. I just want to make it look a little bit cleaner by taking a couple of hairs off there. So again, you want a nice high blend, a nice high zero fade, skin fade, but I'm just working the mini clippers quite high into my zero line, so it still gives it, there's a lot more scalp coming through. So that way, again, it gives the appearance of it being quite high, but yet you see, as a barber, you're giving yourself room to blend as well. So. I'll just show you this, what I'm talking about. So as you can see, it's dropping down. So when I blend this in, it's going to be higher up as well. But this is going to just give me the room to connect this, well, not connect the top in, but just cut the top into it. Almost disguise it slightly. But we're starting to go this out now, so it's going to start looking longer already. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just match it down there as well. All right? Yeah. Now the question is, what do I do with these little bits here? Because that's essentially his fringe. Do I cut them off or do I leave them? Realistically, what I'd say is I just leave them, because you start cutting into the fringe, we're going against what we're trying to do. I know they look like stragglers now, but they may add something else in the haircut as you know we get a little bit longer in the style as well. So I think I'm going to leave them. What I'm going to do is just this along this part in here, is just pull the bits that are coming through and just connect them into my fingers. So it might not look a lot, but these few hairs here will make all the difference in how perfect that sits. Just trying to maintain as much of this length at the top here without it sticking out too much. So, I'm going to move on to the top now. So I'm going to bring this down and cut it at this point here where the blends fit, they kind of start along here. So we're looking for something to sit nice and classic, nice and slick back. Just while it goes it out. And let it sit about there. So I'm going to cut that in. I'm not going to cut one big blunt length, I'm going to section it off so it's a bit smoother that way. And what I'm going to do is, one thing you want to refrain from doing is you want to lean the head forward, and you don't want to turn your fingers up because it'll cut it higher up. You want to bring your fingers level, your index, so your middle finger against the back of where the blend is, and then cut straight across, because this way you're going to maintain that length coming through. If your fingers are curved up, you're almost over directing it slightly as well. Now, I'm not going to work around, I'm going to bring this into my section, because again everything's going to be getting brought over this way. I'm going to cut that from that point there as well, nice and straight across. Bring this section over. Give my fingers nice and straight. So essentially what it's going to do is get longer here, short towards the back, but what that does, helps it all sit nice into that shape there as well. Okay? That's it, cut through. So as you can see, I think we've kind of disguised the top bit really.
Yeah, nice.
So what I'll do is I'll dry this through and then I'll start it out for you.
Yeah,
all right. So I'm going to use a little bit of the Real Gentleman's salt spray, just to have a little bit of a base, a bit more hold, get a little bit of movement, and then I know it may stick it back. But let's say the daisy doesn't want to stick it back, got that chance to kind of have a bit more of a kind of ruffled finish as well, like that. We're a bit looser, a bit like the character in Boardwalk Empire, really. I'm just looking to dry this through, so I'm just going to use a very wide Brent, well, not very wide, but a wide enough Brent pen brush, just to be able to smooth through the hair. Just dry it off. It's going to sit this way anyway, so got very wide sections, very loose, and just dry this through. I'm not looking for height or lift or nothing, I'm just looking to dry it. This is going to be speed, and it's going to dry it more evenly as well. Dry it both ways just to dry it through. Cool. That's pretty much it really, guys. I don't think I've done a bad job creating this, to be honest. I think it looks really nice, and the good thing is it's really disguised, so what I'll show you is it gives that kind of shape. So what I've done is I've cut it into like that kind of shape. So again, a bit of a kind of older style for like the Boardwalk Empire days, but probably the best thing we can do with the look we've got going on. But by doing that, I think we've really disguised, and keeping that length through here, it's sitting nice and flat with this weight of this hair, it's sitting nice and flat. So I think this kind of shape is something that will really work for you growing out, because in that way we can, again, keep growing this bit out of the crown, longer it gets, the easier it'll be to start. And also, you've got this really nice kind of natural style. Even if it just falls loose like that, it actually looks quite cool. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of something different. Removed a fair bit of length from the back, but we've still got a lot of length through here as well. So if guys are looking to grow the hair longer, this isn't a bad start to go for. So because what you're doing is you're essentially maintaining length very long from the crown forward and just layering it back. So the kind of same principle going forward. And you go, so like say if you're doing like a crop fringe we've done before when we're layering it heavier, it's essentially the same kind of section. It just it works for it to go back here, so it all sits through here, keeps that weight in. But I think it looks pretty good. Happy with that? Happy?
Yeah, like it a lot.
Sweet. So what I might do, I might just put a little bit, I might use a bit of pomade or something just to give it a bit more of a slicker finish.
Yeah.
Just a bit more old school, but kind of, it'll help keep the flyaways down and essentially this bit here will keep it down as well. Alright?
Okay.
So what you do with the pomade, you just layer it in a bit. So because it's so long, if I just put it on the top, it's going to coat the top. So I'm just going to run it through here, just use my fingers just to separate, bring it back.
Smells nice.
Just super layering, nothing majorly kind of over the top. Just something that gets all in the hair. So more than just putting it straight on the top and nothing underneath. This just helps. Then also make sure you run it through the sides as well to keep that flat through the sides. And then wide tooth comb. You get a bit of drag. And then just pull this through.
Oh, New York. Oh, so it's just yeah.
Right guys, so just to recap, we had a kind of undercuts, almost like what you get if you were going for like a top knot, for example, right? So it was kind of very high up, which is obviously requested, nice and high up, into that kind of like sort of very high, off the round of the head kind of section. But what we've been looking to do is grow this out. So this is, again, trying to give you some advice on how to grow this hair out. So what we did was, we lost a bit of length at the top, but what I thought would be a good idea to do is this kind of style. Basically kind of going for a shorter version of what he had, just a very long undercut, but keeping the blend low. So that way we can grow out the corners here and grow out anything that doesn't really need to be this short now, just purely for this look, well, hopefully the newer finish we go for when you come back. So what I did was, I tried to maintain as much length through this point here, and the other side, because the side, remember if you look at the before video picture, that was kind of higher up here than this side, so it's kind of a bit more like that shape almost in a sense on the top. So what we've done is try to maintain as much length as we can through these corners. I thought we could do it more of like a drop fade kind of thing, so bringing it low down here, just towards the point where your sitter bone is here, just working here, and then bringing that blend in so that sits with a nice shape through here as well. Again, the same on the other side, just to help grow these corners out. And then on the top, just cut it down to that length and just layered it through from the back to the front. Just then took a bit of the length off, it was quite dry at the end as well, like we had a conversation about. That really helps to kind of freshen it up and almost give it a better, nicer feel to the hair as well, taking a lot of the dry ends off too. And that's it. So I'm happy with that, man. I think we've got something nice out of that.
Yeah.
And then again, you know, like we said, we'd try something, maybe do something like what Liam's got, something next time.
Yeah.
I think give it a few months. I reckon maybe 2-3 months.
Yeah.
We get that.
Yeah.
We get that kind of short, kind of quiffed over to one side kind of thing. That worked really, really well.
Yeah. I'll keep him updated on how well it's growing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sounds good, mate. Yeah.
So for Dan, people who are kind of growing out, who want those kind of disconnected undercuts, maybe Peaky Blinders, Fury styles, like how difficult are they to switch up afterwards?
See, they look amazing. Yeah, I mean, they look amazing to start with because obviously they're cut so dramatically, kind of in that kind of style. Problem is, they don't grow out that well because obviously it's not a balanced haircut a lot of the time. So I love that Fury haircut. That's one of my. It's probably very similar to that actually. And the Peaky Blinders. I love the kind of rawness and the kind of like almost a DIY effect back from that day. It kind of works really, really well. Only downside is the growing out phase because it's such an extreme haircut. Anything creative or extreme or anything like that is very hard to grow out. Just because you tend to go too high on the corners most of the time, where you tend to, you might leave a wedge in it, for example. They're very hard to grow out because they're so extreme. So if you have something like this and you are looking to change it, go maybe, I always just maybe 2 haircuts past the date you'd normally come in. So let's say you come every 6 weeks, leave it another 6 weeks. So leave it the original 6 weeks and then another 12 weeks. I know that sounds such a long time, and obviously, you do want to get the clientele. I mean, for me personally, it wouldn't do me any favours if I told my clients to come back every 12 weeks. But realistically, if you want to change it up, you've got to do that. obviously depending on the style you've gone for, say you've got a Peaky Blinders cut, you could probably go away maybe an extra couple of weeks over your normal haircut. Depending on how high the back is, so you might have took the crown off, so you have to grow the crown out to get any other different style, because it's not just about what you see in the mirror, you know, that's a big part of it, but it's what everyone else sees around, and you know, the kind of profile, the silhouette of the head shape, and the, you know, the sort of 360-degree view that everyone else sees, not just yourself. So I would say, yeah, if anything this sort of disconnected, anything too high on the corners for this kind of longer, kind of like say a top knot or anything like this, where it's been taken a bit too high, works well for the style, but if it's a little bit too high and you want to go for something new, you're going to have to accept that you either have to go very, very short, or you're going to have to go longer than you expect. So try and give yourself an extra haircut gap if you can. Anything Peaky Blinders, very short, go a couple of weeks over your normal haircut time. So we're going to get Frank back in, I don't know, maybe a couple of months' time.
Yeah.
See where we're at. I'm really keen to see how this haircut goes out. Just because of the sort of extreme kind of original style. I'd love to see how this goes out, and yeah, and give you a nice wedding haircut as well.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.